The award-winning DigitalHealth.London Accelerator programme supports digital solutions or services that have the highest potential to meet health and social care challenges across London's NHS. Now in its 7th consecutive year, the NHS delivered programme has supported some of the most effective digital innovations now being used by the NHS. I'm Ruth Bradbury, Senior NHS Navigator at DigitalHealth.London, and I've been an application reviewer and interviewer for potential accelerator companies over the last 3 years. Hopefully the tips I'll be sharing with you in this video will help with your application submission. I'll be taking you through some of the application form, focusing on open-ended questions. To start your application for the DigitalHealth.London Accelerator programme, you first need to go to the DigitalHealth.London website and click on the Accelerator page. Here you'll be able to click through to apply to the application process. You'll see a page like this. Here you'll be able to read information about the programme and the application process, including the opening and close date for applications as well. There are links here to read more information, so FAQs about the Accelerator programme and the application, and also to find out more information about the Accelerator. Once you're happy that you want to apply for the programme, you need to click on the green Apply button. We use the SurveyMonkey Apply platform to submit our applications. If you already have an account, click on Login once you've inserted your email details and password. If you don't have an account already, then you'll need to register for an account. I'm going to take you through from the Login button. So once you have logged in, you'll come onto this page and you'll be able to start your application. You can see here that your application ID number is shown. And again, it reminds you of the deadline for applications. So you click Start and you're taken into our application form. Important thing to keep an eye on here are all of these tasks in the centre. And you'll need to work through the tasks in order to submit your application form, completed with the declaration at the end. So there are some mandatory questions, and then there are some tasks where you'll be required to upload and submit information, and then other sections that are optional. What I'm going to do now is take you through the sections and just run through any of the areas that need a little bit more explanation. So we'll start with legal requirements. And you can see here, there's some general information about your company and about yourself and the type of business that you are. What's really important for us is that we understand the type of business that you are. We're looking at companies who are from all over the world, not just UK or London-based companies. But what we're really looking to understand is whether you're a UK company based in London, whether you're a UK company based outside of London, or whether you're a company based outside of the UK. And various different options will open up when you click on these. So if you're a registered company in the UK, you say yes, and you'll include information about your registration. If you're not registered in the UK, then you'll be able to enter information about where you're registered. If you are registered in the UK, but you're not based in London, then we'll just want to know that information about you. You can also see here that we want to take down some information around our eligibility as well, understanding whether you fit the definition of a small to medium enterprise and SME. So there's some questions there to answer. Once you've completed all the questions in this section, you'll see at the bottom it's asking you to attach certain documents to verify the information. To do that, if you scroll back up to the top, and you'll see in this left-hand side section, there is a task here that's around Companies House or equivalent registration. And you can attach the relevant files through this upload link. And any financial accounts and information, again, you can also attach through there as well. So I'm going to come back to the tasks on the left-hand side. So we've covered off, or just going back into legal requirements. Once you've uploaded those documents, you can then mark this section as complete. And once you've got all the information in there and you've clicked mark as complete, what you'll see on the left-hand side is a big green tick in this circle here. Obviously, it won't do it now because I haven't completed the boxes, but that's what you'll see. We'll then move into the funding section. So we have two sections to complete in the funding section. In the first section, we want to understand about how your business will be funded and sustained through the 12 months of our programme. And this is because Digital Health London does not offer any direct funding from the programme. So please include in here if you are raising investment, whether that's investment that you have already raised or you're anticipating to raise, if you are self-funding, if you're revenue generating, whether you've got grant funding, please include as much information in here so we understand your position. The second question talks about the benefit received by your company from the DigitalHealth.London Accelerator programme. So although we don't provide direct financial funding, the benefit that you receive will be classified as minimal financial assistance under the Subsidy Control Act. So important thing with the Subsidy Control Act is that we need to understand whether you have received any minimal financial assistance in the previous 2 financial years. And if you have, this shouldn't exceed £315,000. So you'll see that there's a link here to get some more information about this process. And then we have a question for you to respond to. So have you received any minimal financial assistance in the current and last 2 fiscal years? And this could be minimal financial assistance under the Subsidy Control Programme, or it could be under a comparable programme such as EU State Aid. So if you haven't received any minimal financial assistance, then you will click no. If you have received some, but it doesn't exceed £280,000, then you'll click yes. If you have received it and it has exceeded the £280,000 limit, then you'll click the second yes. And when you've completed that section, you will mark as complete. So we're now going to move back up to our tasks on the left-hand side, and we're going to go to policies in place. So we'll click on that box. Okay, so this section is all about your business's alignment with policies that are relevant and important for the NHS and for local government. So 3 main areas here. The first area is around achieving net zero. So again, we're really aligned with the London Mayor's goal of reaching net zero by 2030. And this is an area that we can support and work with you on throughout the programme. So we want to understand, do you currently have a decarbonisation plan? Or if you don't, we have a commitment to supporting that throughout the course of the programme as well. So just understanding where you sit on that position. The second area of policy is around equality, diversity and inclusion. And there are a few questions in this section here, but essentially what we're wanting to understand is about the ownership and also the management of your business from the perspective of 3 different areas. So firstly, thinking about your business in relation to minority ethnic communities. So again, as I said, it's about the ownership of the business and also the management of the business. We then want to sort of delve a little bit more deeply into the ethnicity of your business ownership and management. So please do select all the options that apply here. The next perspective that we want to look at is around gender. So thinking about, again, ownership and management of the business from a gender perspective. And then the last perspective here is around disability. So whether your business is majority owned or managed by somebody with or people with disability. The last policy area that we're looking at is around waste, electrical and electronic equipment regulations. So again, does your business align with these regulations? And we've got a link to guidance at the bottom here. So you can answer yes or no to these two questions. And then when you've completed that, we'll click the green markers complete box at the bottom. So now we're going to go back up to the top to our tasks on the left-hand side, and we're going to go into company profile. This is where we can really start to find out about you as a company. So first of all, we want to understand some high-level information. So do you have any information that you can provide for us around your annual turnover? So this is an amount that we're looking for here. More information about the number of employees within your business. And then we've got just some tick boxes to think about the different areas of innovation that your company works in. So you can choose as many of these as is applicable to your business. Please try and be realistic though, and really choose the ones that are relevant, not just things that are kind of maybe on the periphery. And again, thinking about the sectors that you work in, and also the type of technology that you are as well. And again, this information really helps us to categorize your company, which then helps us with the review and interview process so that we can match our reviewers and interviewers to the type of technology, the type of sector, the type of clinical area that you're working in. So now we can go down to our green box at the bottom that says next. Click through, and then we can say mark this section as complete. Then we're going to move across into our application questions. So we've got a few different questions here, and I'm going to take you through them. So the first thing that we want to think about is your elevator pitch. So the thing to remember here is that you only have 100 words to get across what your digital solution does and who it helps. It's really important to think about the language that you use here, making sure it's really clear, that you're using any key statistics or data, that you're avoiding acronyms where possible, unless they're really obvious and identifiable, and really are able to convey how your solution will benefit users. And again, this information is really important for us because it helps us identify the type of solution and technology that you are. So really think hard about this and give us lots of information here. What we really like is to be able to maybe see a short video or demo of your product. And when I say short, I mean 60 seconds. So nothing too long. This is something that will help the reviewers and the interviewers really understand your product. And you can see from the text here, you can either include the URL for that video in this text box, or again, if we go to the left-hand side of the screen, you can upload a 60-second pitch in this section here. So for example, if I click in here, you'll be able to link to the video or attach a file, for example. I'm going to just pop some information in here just so that I can go on to the next page. So once you've answered your elevator, or you've written up your elevator pitch, if you click on next, it will take you through to the next set of questions. So I'm just going to talk through these questions a little bit. Hopefully they should be self-explanatory, but just to give you a little bit more information as to what we're looking for. So here's where you can go into more detail about how your solution will benefit the NHS and the UK healthcare system. So really think about sort of the evidence and the data behind what you're doing. You know, can you bring in any current evidence or research or evaluation around your product? Can you talk about your product in terms of how it aligns with different NHS policy or priorities? So think about how you sort of structure that there. But that really gives us an insight into what your product will do. We then want to think about really describing your product or service in much more detail. So how does it work? What does it look like? What is it delivering? We want to understand a little bit more about the sort of the origin of all of that, from the company development through to, you know, how the product has come to be, and thinking about, you know, how you've taken it through the different life cycle stages. So again, you've got 500 words there, a little bit more. So really try and make that information as clear as possible. Again, if you want to include any additional documentation, so that might be marketing information that you have, any links to videos or demos with access codes, you can do that back over on the left-hand side, maybe in the company brochure and other material to support the application, or again, you can attach anything within the 60-second pitch video section. And you can also upload a file here as well. So there's lots of different ways where you can attach the files, but we will be able to then see that to support the application. We then want to understand, not just, we want to understand the products that you have, but we also want to understand if we've got any products that you're looking to develop in the future. So there's questions here around whether you're looking to launch any new products. And also thinking about any of the challenges that might arise with developing products as well. So just give us, again, not too many words, but give us some information here about any of those challenges and how you're looking to overcome those. Our next question is around commercialization. So we want to understand here, what is your strategy for commercialization? How do you see the product being used? Who will pay for it? How will it be distributed? What's some of the information around the potential revenue model? And also thinking about, you know, the size of the market that you're addressing. So just again, give us lots of information there around how you see this product actually being sold or procured by the NHS. We're then looking to understand your plans around research and evaluation. So it may be that you have a particular requirement to undertake evidence generation and evaluation. So please tell us about that. So if we say yes here, we've got an option to give a little bit more information about the research that you need to and want to undertake, you know, whether you want to be involving academic institutions for that as well. So please try and give us as much information as you can there. Next area is around competitors and IP. So again, how well do you understand the market here? How well do you understand and differentiate yourself from your competitors? So again, please try and be as open and clear about that as possible, so that we get a sense of how realistic you are in terms of entering the UK NHS market. So moving on, we're really looking to understand more about your team here towards the end of these questions. So who's in your team? Who is it who would engage with the Accelerator programme? Tell us a bit about their background and the skills and experience that they bring. And maybe there are some areas of expertise that you need to build into your company as well. So again, perhaps thinking about challenging yourself and thinking about the areas of development that you see moving forward. We then want to really understand what you want to get out of the Accelerator programme. So hopefully if you've read our website, you've watched our application webinars, you'll really have an understanding of how the accelerator works and what it can offer to digital health companies. So we want you here to articulate across, 3 areas. What are the challenges that your business and your company faces, and why you think the accelerator will help you address them? So again, please try and be as clear as possible here. We really want to understand that you're going to get benefit from our programme. And then our final 2 sections, final 2 questions here are really about, as I say, how did you hear about us? We're always really keen to make sure that we are reaching out to companies through the most appropriate means. And then finally, we would like you to include any references or any pilot sites, so that should we want to confirm any information in your application form, then we can contact people to ask that. So please tell us a little bit about them, how you've worked with them, and the type of information that they may well be able to provide. And again, when you finish this section, you can mark it as complete. And they are the key kind of questions for the application form. The final 2 areas to complete. So we've got an area around data protection. So again, just letting you know that we are collecting information about you and your business. And this is managed through the GDPR regulation and protection. So we need you to sign that off and mark as complete. And then the final area is our declaration. So this task will only, it says it here, the task can't be started this time, but once you've completed all of the sections above and they're all turned green with a green tick, then you'll be able to sign off the application form. So you can go back into any section at any time. So you'll have noticed, for example, I'll just take our legal requirements as an example. At the bottom, we can say mark as complete once it's all completed, but actually, if you haven't completed all the information and you want to come back to it, you can save and continue editing, and then it will allow you to go into different sections. So at any point you can go back in and you can edit, and you can complete the sections at your own pace. So now that all of our sections are complete, we can see that by the green ticks on the left-hand side. We've now got our green submit button that has come up on the bottom. So final chance. Remember, you can't change your application once you submit. So do make sure you have checked it as much as you need to. You can go back in and review anything. But we're going to go through the process now of submitting your application. So if I click on submit, it asks me to either cancel, review again, or submit, and I'm going to submit it. You get the confirmation that your application has been submitted. If we go to My Applications, you can also get that confirmation on this main screen here with your application ID number. And you should also receive an email confirming that your application has been received. The process from our side after that is, after the closing date, all of our applications go through an external review period, and you'll hear shortly after that review period has concluded whether you've been shortlisted for interview. So keep an eye on your emails later on. Thank you for watching this video on top tips to applying for the accelerator. If you have any further questions, there are several places that you can go. You can go to our website, and there we have our FAQ section, where you'll see all the different possible questions and answers, and hopefully that will help you along your way. You can sign up to our Accelerator 101 webinar on the 7th of March. And again, we'll be able to go through any particular areas of the application form that might be more tricky. We'll answer any questions that you may have. Or if you're unable to attend the webinar, we will be recording it, and you'll be able to watch the recording back, accessing the recording from our website. And if you have any other questions, then please do email us at applicationsdhla@digitalhealth.London. So just want to say finally, good luck with the application. We really look forward to receiving all the information about your company, and wish you all the best of luck moving through the different stages of the process. Thank you very much.